What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be I'm going to be showing you how to build a custom GPT. This is our new Build with Me AI series, where I'll be showing you how to do automations, and I'll also be showing you how to create custom GPTs. Again, I have been a software engineer for nearly 30 years, and what I'm going to do is jump straight into creating AI solutions. I'm a real estate investor, but right now my primary focus is writing AI solutions and technical solutions that power business. I also would like to focus on helping people find clarity in their business. A lot of times we have what I call noise in our head, and that noise in our head is actually too many decisions that we have to make. So what I try to do is figure out where can I step in with technology and allow some of those decisions to be offloaded to technology, or AI in this case. And so what we're going to do today is create a lead generation scoring system. So I am going to be sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. You have to bear with me. I am not used to using StreamYard, but right now I am going to be sharing my screen. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share. I think this is the one that I want to share.
Please proceed when you're ready to share your screen.
All right. So right here, we're going to create a new GPT. And for this one, I am going to I started playing around with this, and I am going to copy. I'm going to actually share this other tab. Give me 1 second. All right. So so I am going to share a different screen. So this one is going to be this one. All right. So we're going to be learning how to create a custom GPT. So for those of you that don't know, and let me close my window because it's starting to rain and I can hear it, and I don't know if you guys can hear it. So if you guys don't know, a custom GPT is basically a way to not have to continue to use prompts over and over and over. So most of us use prompts for being able to do things like for being able to make requests. And then what happens is large language model is trained on certain things and it gives you a response. Where if you want to provide custom training for your GPTs, then you can create a custom GPT, and that's what we're going to do today. But before we get set up, let's identify what it is that we're trying to do. So today we will create today we're tasked with creating a real estate scoring system for on-market properties. And so the way that I usually do this is I try to describe what I'm trying to do without using anything other than ChatGPT. So I'm going to just say today we're tasked with creating a real estate scoring system for on-market properties. We will use this scoring system to identify or prioritize which leads we will work with first. We will analyze first. Please help me come up with some criteria for scoring our leads. I'm going to leave it like this, and then I'll show you. I have a process for how I actually create prompts that is really streamlined, but let's start with this right now and see what ChatGPT gives us. All right, so it says you're on the right track. Creating a lead scoring system gives you leverage by prioritizing high opportunity. So this is saying let's go off of a 100-point system, and it's each category, and they weight it. So the one thing that you'll know is that when it comes to lead scoring systems and things like that, or even ChatGPT, you have to give it the bounds under which you want it to operate. So right now, I have a scoring system that I would like to use. I haven't tried this live. It's something I've been playing around with. So I just figured, let me try this live, see what happens. We can try to analyze it, see if it's working out the gate. And if not, then we would decide what to do with it next. So the reason why I want to do this is the problem. So the problem that we have is that you have a property or you have a list of leads. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to identify, if I have 100 properties in the list, how do I know which one of those lists, which one of those properties I need to go after first? We need some criteria. So my criteria for this right now, I haven't identified, I haven't told anything. So let's see what ChatGPT came up with on its own. It's saying, okay, is the property in the target neighborhood or zone? Neighborhood or zip code. Does the property fit our strategy? Single, family, multifamily. What about the bedroom, bathroom count, the lot size, garage, parking, the year that it was built? Is it priced below our comps? Is it visible distress? Investor special. So they have these different things, and they have a scoring system: 10, 5, 3, 4, and 3. And they give each one of the category, 20, 25, 25. So they're weighted, and then one is 15. So this is what it comes up with on its own. And so it really doesn't matter what the scoring system is. I wanted to put in a prompt to see what it would say. And so one of the things that I like to do, most people don't do this, and I encourage you, when you are working with ChatGPT, you need to treat it like a teammate. So when it does something you don't want it to do, or when you need to train it, or you need to get it to respond to you differently, or you want to know, because I talk to it, I'm like, why did you do that? Or I'll say things like, I'm frustrated. I keep telling you to do the same thing over and over. Why aren't you doing it? I talk to it like that so that I can get the results that I want. For me, the most important thing is clarity, repeatability, quality. I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing is always going to operate at a certain level. So I created a set of tools to allow me to get those results the way that I want them. But for now, I'm going to show you how I would think about doing this and how I would go about trying to ensure that this thing is working the way that I want it to work. Okay, so with that being said, this is the scoring system that it wants. And I'm like, so please be proactive. I like to tell ChatGPT to be proactive, and I like to give it a role in how it's going to help me solve the problems that I'm working on. Please be proactive. I want you to be the CTO and chief advisor for this project. Please explain to me why you chose the categories you chose. And so I like to get an idea of why it's doing what it's doing before I get into the solution. So I want to know, why did it choose those categories? And so buybox fit, you only make money on deals that match your model. So it's important. You get paid for solving pricing inefficiencies. So it's saying some of the questions they're trying to solve pricing inefficiencies. One of them is the seller doesn't drop the price. Sellers don't drop prices for no reason. So we're trying to identify and uncover motivation. They have one for creative strategies, and then they have one for bad marketing equals good opportunities. So these are not necessarily bad categories, and these are straight, but I have a list of, I have a actual prompt that I'm going to use. The system, so I'll explain to you the system that I'm going to use because it's pretty straightforward. So here is the one that I'm using: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 1 second. All right, so I'm going to put in the master prompt and we will go over it. All right, so here. So this is the master prompt that was created and that we'll use to solve this problem. All right. So first thing you have to do is give it a role. So you are a real estate deal screener agent. That is the role that we're giving it for this particular problem. Now, if you have listened to me and how I talk about AI, the one thing that you'll know is that I talk about GPTs as being the brain. It's just the pre-trained transformer, generative pre-trained transformer. It is the brains. It is the thing that you use a prompt, you put in natural language comes out, and it solves a problem. So then I like to break it down into agents. Agents are workflows, automation. So you're going to take that brain and you're going to put it in a space where it can naturally operate, and it'll do it in an automated fashion, whether that's completely automated, semi-automated, different things like that. But then once we get into the GPT or the agent space, it doesn't matter. I like to categorize it into two areas. Again, you have base and you have derived. Base is one problem, one solution. That's a singularity protocol. That is one thing you'll hear me preach and talk about all the time. The next thing that we have is derived. So when you start to build these things out, they're going to be built on top of each other, and they're going to work in a very streamlined way. So that is the way that I am thinking about this. So when you see this prompt and it says you are a real estate deal screener, that is the singularity protocol, one problem, one solution, and that's what the role of this particular agent or GPT is. In this particular case, it's a GPT, so I will, call it a GPT. So now we have purpose. The purpose is to score on-market residential investment leads using the standardized 20-point framework. So instead of being 100, we just scaled it down to 20 points. If most things are satisfied, there'll be 1 point. Things that are super important, there'll be 2 points. This residential real estate on-market lead evaluation investment analysis input is going to be the address. I'm going to give it a Redfin or Zillow link. I'm going to give it the criteria that we're going to use for being able to, buy property. And then we're going to have additional notes. And you will see me describe certain things to it so that I can get it to behave a certain type of way. We have our scoring system. Buybox fit is 5 points. Zip code, the target zip code or city is 2 points. Property type match. Property type match is going to be based on like single family, things like that. So we got single family. So let's put that in here. Single family homes, multifamily homes, mobile homes, storage, right? Oh, and then I'm going to put 2 to 4 unit. All right, so that'll be 1 point depending on what it is that you want it to be. Bed and bathroom count. Here, I'm going to consider this to be optional. If none given, any number of bed or baths work. Years built fits target. So year built or age. And then I will say things like this, like we will always use age, and if year built is given, we will calculate age. All right, so that's what we're doing for that one. Then we have equity or deal potential, maximum 7 points. We have listed for 10 or 20% below comps. at least. We're going to say listed at least 10% below comps. We need to remove ambiguity. Saying 10 to 20% is kind of funny, so we say it's listed at least 10% below comps. Technically, I should put 20% because when we're calculating, we do 70% of ARV, right? So that's a 30% gap. So we say 70% of ARV, and then we subtract our rehab price. This is for distressed properties. So if we're going to do that, I will say that I will jump this to at least 20% below comps. So comps, it gets tricky. For the purpose of what we're doing, I'm going to say 10% below comps, and then in this case below zip median. So then I'm going to say 20% below median price. Okay, we're going to say at least 20% below median price. And in that case, I am going to give it 2 points because that to me is important. And then visible cosmetic distress, investor special. I'm going to remove the visible cosmetic distress since I increased the other one by 1 point. And so that gives us still 20. All right. We get investor special, TOC in the listing. So we're going to say wording in the listing describes describes distress. All right, so now we're going to say nearby comps listed higher. So this is like the reverse of the other one. So I'm going to remove this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say instead of saying that, I'm going to say not a full gut or a heavy rehab, but a cosmetic rehab only, no major work. All right. So now we got relisted / expired previously. Now I'm going to make sure that this thing knows to ask questions if there's data that it cannot find. So I am going to make sure that we have that. So now we have on here 90 days on market plus 3, 60 to 89 days plus 2, 1 plus price drop, vacant or easy to show is 2, and then motivated. So we have this whole thing, and if it works, we have these categories. Now I'm going to say, please review Redfin link to identify data that exists that we are asking about. If some data is missing, please let me know. And now we're going to say, you can find the median price of homes for a zip code or city. If you have trouble doing so, please let me know. You can always look on Redfin Market Insight to find this information for a given zip code or city. Do you understand? All right, so I'm going to give this, and I gave it some instructions, so we will see. All right, so this is, I gave it a master prompt, and I told it we're going to create a custom GPT. So what that means for me, what I do is I take a master prompt that I create and I use it to create something. I take that information and I create knowledge files, and then I use those to upload into custom GPT, and then I have my custom GPT. So it says what you need to provide: address or Redfin link, basic buy box, and then it'll say what we'll do is we'll scrape all the extracted data and everything. Okay, and then it says for market data, and then it's going to say ready to score. All right, so let's do this. We're going to start with our basic buy box, and we'll give it. So we're going to use our. I am going to create this. So this is going to be my buy box. My basic buy box is going to be this, and we'll figure this out right now. So here I'm going to put. I'm just going to put Homewood. I'm going to do Flossmoor. No, I'll do Homewood, Illinois. And then actually I'm going to put in two. 60430, 60430, and then we're going to say and 60422. And then we're going to say ideal property type, single family home, or 2 to 4 unit. Ideal bed and bath count, at least 3 bedrooms and at least 1 bathroom. Target year built or age. I'm going to say 1970 plus. And then we're going to say optional. About your strategy, I'm going to say fix and flip. Those are what we're going to do. And we're going to say fix and flip to the highest comps. All right. So that's our buy box. And then we have to give it a Redfin link. Okay. And then we're going to give it a Redfin link. And for that, I am going to create a Redfin. We'll look at a property. Okay, so here we're going to go. Let's look at, I'm going to do HF. So I'm going to first, I am going to use this to help me make sure that the data is present, and then I will download a list. Okay, so here, let's use this. All right, so we'll use this property here. Okay, so I just realized I've been typing off the screen, so you haven't been able to see it. So here is the buy box that we have. So I'm going to put this back. I'm going to give it some instructions, and then I'll show it to you. Please verify that you can find the data we need to run our scoring system. Once you validate the data, I can upload a CSV file of properties for you to score. Do you understand? In the meanwhile, here is my buy box. All right, so we're going to use this right here, and we're going to put it in here, and I'm going to say, bam. We'll see what this says. All right, yes, I confirm we have access to all the key data points needed for your 20-point score system. Listing details, bedroom, bathroom, clear on Redfin and Zillow, age built, property type, lot size, square footage available, in listing data, days on market, price drops, relists and descriptors, zip codes, cool, median home price, cool. All scoring can be automatically evaluated. So based on this saying that it has the ability to do it, we're going to run a test. So I will provide you a list of leads. I want you to score each lead and display the score, property address, the I want to say, and property address, the score, and your thoughts. Do you understand? All right. So with that being said, we're gonna I'm gonna switch to. I'm not gonna switch. I'm just gonna create. So since this isn't about that, I'm going to just generate a list of leads, and then we will actually. So the list of leads that I'll generate will be 8 Homewood Cross Moore School District. Okay, cool. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna go. Oh, a new property came on. I need to take a look at that. That's in the area that we like. All right, so let's go through this, and I'm going to download. I'm going to download the list, and I am going to upload the list. All right, cool. So we have the list. Okay, please look at the list first to identify if there is any missing data, or if, because I believe the Redfin link is in the. Let me just take a look really quick. Let me just run this real quick. Is the Redfin link found in the data? Boom. And okay, so it is. Okay, cool. So all right, so in the data, you should be able to find the Redfin link in the CSV file. All right, here we go. So we are going to, bam, we're going to do that, and we're going to do this. Okay, so let's try to see. Oh, it says unable to visually display it. Data available, good to go. Missing include days on market, not included in CSV. We will need to scrape from. Okay, cool. Year built, not included, requires a. Okay, I will go through each Redfin URL in the CVA, extract the missing data. Here's what I need to proceed. Please copy, paste through. Okay, I give you permission to search for the data using the Redfin link in the CSV file. So read the data from the file. Search for any missing data using the Redfin link. Score all the leads and then output the score. I'll put the address, the score, and any information you find useful. Do you understand? Okay, so I will paste the list into the chat. Okay, so I'm going to, it's saying that it can only do stuff that I give it. So I'm going to paste it into the chat, and then I'm going to say, bam, there we go. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try this one more try again. And it could be the amount of data I put all in the screen at once. All right. So so it gave it to me. Okay, here it is. This is what I want to see. It says it passed, and it's the ones that are on here scored 5, 6, 7, 8, and 0. And so based on that, so let me say, please score the entire list. Now I put in very specific criteria for those zip codes. I can switch to a different zip code, but I want to see the rest of the list. Okay, so it did. Let's look at it. It scored the entire list, and it has the properties here, and we'll see what the score is. Okay, so the action says skip. So most of these might be skipped because Homewood Flossmoor is a very popular area. There isn't a lot of distressed properties. And so the criteria that we used, and so we can go and we can look and see. I will pick a different area like Hazel Crest and see if that makes a difference. So okay, please choose one example and provide all the details so we can verify your work. Okay, so it says most leads score low due to missing data. Okay, so it did not do what I asked it to do. So it says 2 points for being in the zip, property type, bed, year built is 1928, doesn't meet that threshold. So that's 2 out of 5. Then we have price is not below median. Okay, not 20% below the zip median. No indicators of distress, rehab condition. And then it says days on market is only 6, no price drops. So that's why it's 2 out of 10 skip for now. So I am going to pull another list from a different area. So let me pull something like Hazel Crest. And let's see if we can identify some properties here and see what it is. So we're going to download all of these, and this is for Hazel Crest. And so I am going to, okay, so I'm going to update my buy box to include 606 to, I think it's 29, 60629, yes. All right, so just updating my buy box to include that. Okay, so please score these leads. And regardless of what the algorithm is, I tried to just come up with something on the fly. The thing is, whatever you want to use to score these leads, you can use it to score. You can have a simple system, you can have a very complex system. Let's look. I knew that finding distressed properties in that area would be difficult. Now, this one right here says, here is the breakdown of one example scoring in target area, single family home built. So it says 2 for being in the target area, single family that meets bedroom, bathroom count built. So that's +3. Okay, so equity, no data yet for comp analysis, under pricing or visual distress. Okay, so that's 3 out of, it's not even 3, that should be 4. So let's do this. Why did you say that the score was 3 when we have 5 over 5 in buy box fit? And it says, okay, I mistakenly counting 3 due to the logic oversight in the calculation function. I didn't add the points for bid. Okay, so now it says corrected scoring for this one. It's 5 out of 20. Now we're going to say, please, please get all the missing data using the Redfin link. So now it can pull in. So it is going to scrape all the rest of the data that exists. And it says, okay, median price is $330, estimated from similar properties. Purchase price is $460, no discount. No distress keywords, not less than 20. So the equity position is going to be the biggest thing. No relist history. So those all fail. It's not, this has been on the market how many days? 5. So 3 out of 20. This one passed. So it says, can you please score all the leads for Hazel Crest, and please use the search Redfin for each property. The Redfin link for each property to get all missing data. Now, once we get all the missing data and we're able to score everything, then we'll be able to see what those scores are, and we'll be able to know what order we need to be able to go into to identify and prioritize the properties in the list. Okay. And then going through the list, now it says top 2 featured leads from Hazel Crest. I pulled updates on market data from Redfin and score each one using. Okay, so please, I'm going to ask it to, I'm ready to proceed with the rest of Hazel Crest. Please proceed with the entire list. All right. So one thing that one thing that I have noticed about ChatGPT is that when it's going to do stuff like this, you have to be very specific. Um, Sometimes this is why I don't like doing stuff live, because I don't know what the results are going to be. I try to be very explicit, but let's see what we come up with. Okay, so please provide me the scores for Hazel Crest. And please be sure to scrape all the missing data so that we can identify any opportunities to invest. All right. So here are the full accurate scores. All right. So it has gone through these two, and those only three. These two are not strong flips considering the current framework. However, the motivated single legs and the second property. So let's look at the second property and see. I'm trying to do it for a whole list, and I will have it done for a whole list. Let me just. Okay, cool. So I saw the property. The property is not. None of these are really motivated. So please give me all the scores for Hazel Crest. I just want the property address, score, and any useful information you know. And so we're going to go through and we're going to look. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep on telling it this. So it's giving it to me like this. I want it in table form, but I didn't tell it. And so please provide me all the data in table, embedded table form. How many properties is there on the Hazel Crest list? So let me identify how many were actually in the file. Okay, so there are more than 7 in the file, so all of them must not have gotten uploaded. So I'm going to do this again. Oh no, that's the wrong list. Okay, yeah, so there's more than 7 in Hazel Crest. So here I'm gonna go. Here is the data set. Take each row and scrape and identify the Redfin link. Scrape all the missing data from the file, then score this lead. Do this until you complete the entire list. Once you've completed the list, display to the screen the address, score, and any useful information that you have. If you don't understand something, please ask me all the questions you need to ask in order for you to be able to complete your task. Do you understand? Okay, it says, I understood your instructions clearly. Here's the plan. We're going to iterate over each list, extract the Redfin link, scrape the missing data, apply the full scoring system, output the formatted results in the table. Before proceeding, here are the key questions. Target zip codes. So I'm going to say, and then it says property type, bedroom bath, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, cosmetic, rehab categories, cosmetic only, full gut, no points. Do you have a specific zip median, or should I use for 5? Please use Redfin Market Insight medians dynamically. And then it says for number 4, I guess that's it. Yeah, cosmetic year 1. Okay. No, actually, that is not true. Okay, I forgot. Full guts for number 4. Full guts get 1 point, and cosmetic get 2 points. All right, we're looking for more cosmetic. So let's see what we can identify. Okay, so expand scoring. If you like, I can process it. So here, I'm going to provide this list. Here is the full list for Hazelcrest. Please score them all according to our rules. All right, so this is going to go through and it's going to score them all according to our rules. So we can look at these properties and we can see. Okay, so it hasn't done it yet. So this is the full list. Okay, here's the list. Now I'm going to ask it, why do you keep saying 7 properties? Okay, so yes, I want you to ingest the new list fully, scrape. I want you to do it. Yes, I want you to do it. Yes, I want you to do it. Yes, please do all of that. Okay, complete the batch. All right, so it's supposed to go through. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, actually, let's do this. Okay, so since I gave you such a large list via chat, please look over all the listings and identify 5 properties that are distressed via the description and photos. Once you have those, please score those for me. So what I was trying to do is be able to go through and scan through a whole list. We can actually do that. That's not an issue. So here are the 5 that it looks like. This one, it says is the 14. This one's the 11. This is on the 12. All right, so let's look at this one right here. 17807 Grandview Drive. So I am going to switch to a different tab so you can actually see this property. All right, we'll look at the street view. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to actually present on a different screen so you can see the property. This is the property that it identified, $35,000, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Now, this is saying, okay, this one is one that should be looked at. It identified this property, and these are all on public. So this one, it says 179. It says that, let's look at what it says. It says it's 180. It says motivated seller, cosmetic rehab, likely distress motivated, no price drop yet. So it went through and it says that one was a warm lead. This one is identifying as a warm lead as well. And, you know, for coming up with a algorithm on the fly, we have to look and see if this stuff makes sense. Okay, it identified this one as one. So these are the ones that it's looking at saying, okay, these meet the criteria. You might want to look at them. Let's look at this one as well. So it came up with a list of leads that we could at least look at and identify. All right, so I'm going to, since it actually was able to find a couple of leads that we could look at, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back over to this other screen, and then we will finish up. I will show you how to do the custom GPT, and then we'll just go from there. So we'll go back here, and it identified these properties. So now I'm going to show you how to create the custom GPT. So I'm going to say, please create a deployment package for our custom GPT. Give me the knowledge, give me the instructions we need to provide to the custom GPT, and any knowledge files that we need to include. Be sure to include all updates that we made during our session. Do you understand? Oh, and include all memory updates as well. Do you understand? All right, now while this is doing that, we're going to take this information and we're going to copy it. Now, the buy box criteria is going to, we're not going to preload this information. We're going to say input from the user. The buy box will be provided by the user. Please update. So with that being said, what I wanted to do is just come up with something on the fly, make it, play around with it, see how well it works, and then show you how to actually put it in the custom GPT. What you would end up doing is you would actually come up with a scoring system that fits what you are trying to do. And then what you would be able to do, and the way that I would do this is I would make it such that I can score leads from a link or score leads from a CSV file. Ideally, I would want to be able to go to Redfin and identify an area, download all the data, and then upload or cut and paste that data into this GPT, and then have this GPT actually score the leads. Then you can take those leads, you can download them, and you can put them in a spreadsheet sorted by score. Now, we could go through the process once we. So, what I'll do for next week is take the same thing, and then what we can do is figure out, how we can go from a. Well, let's spend some. We'll see how we can go, but we might go to trying to automate this and putting this in an actual agent or running this actually online, so you can see how it can be triggered from a webhook. But from what most of us are trying to do, this GPT is enough. I am trying to provide solutions in a very strategic way that will help people get from one step to the next step until they can get to fully automated. Okay, so now we have the fully. Okay, so we have this whole custom GPT thing. We can copy this. So here, this is the deployment package, and then we have the instructions to the GPT, files to include, sample user data. Okay, so this is good. So what I would say is please provide sample files that you have identified as optional so that we can include them in the custom GPT. Do you understand? I have, okay, so we have sample properties. We have the buybox template. And then we're going to have the median price by zip code, optional reference file. Okay, great. And then we have a Redfin scraper module. And yes, so it's going to give me a downloadable zip. And then what I'm going to do is extract those so that they can be included in. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to see what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. So here we're going to actually. Okay, so, all right, so we have the instruction files right here. I'm going to take this information and then we're going to go. This was way longer than I anticipated, but I had fun. So here we go. Here is the instruction files for our new GPT. Please fix these. So we can create a deployment package. Also reference these knowledge files. So, all right. Also reference these knowledge files. Please upload them and extract them. All right, so I'm going to share my other screen so you guys can see this. And if you guys don't know, it's extremely hot. But okay, here we go. The deployment package has been successfully extracted. Here's what we're going to include. Finalize deployment package real estate lead scoring system. And here is, this is the deployment package, and this is the customers. And now please provide me a deployment package to create this GPT. Include some knowledge files. Well, I'm just going to say, please provide me a deployment package to create this GPT. We're going to do that. And then I will show you, this is what we need to do. So while this is happening, we are going to open this back up, and we're going to start the process of, okay, so here we have the deployment package. I will extract it. I'll extract this data. So we're going to extract all. So it's extracting. All right, so now we have the files, and I'm going to copy the instruction file. So I'm going to ask one thing. Is this for compliant? All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to go to this, and we're going to go to my GPTs, and we're going to create a GPT. So here we're going to create this GPT. I'm going to give it the instructions, and I will give it, I'm going to upload the knowledge files from the deployment package. Let's see, what is this? Okay, yeah, so, okay, so it includes the prompt. All right, so we're going to include all of these files as the knowledge files, and we're going to look in here. Okay, use prompt. Okay, so the reason why this is so small is because this file prompt has all of the code in it, and I will show you what that looks like. I'll bring it up and I'll cut and paste it. So we're going to do this. So we're only a few minutes away from being done. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me this long. I didn't anticipate being on here this long. Ooh, what happened? So we're going to copy this. And so I'm going to create the name of this because I can't do anything until I do it. I'm just going to call it real estate. So I'm going to say build with AI, create build with AI, and we're going to call it the real estate lead scoring system. And then we're going to go with the description. The description is this: score on market leads using a 20-point system. And we're going to hit create. So this is all it takes to actually create the custom GPT. I'm going to turn these things off because those aren't needed. We're going to hit create, and we're going to say anyone with the link, and we're going to hit save. So now that we got that saved, it is going to ask us, do we want to view the GPT? Now we can view the GPT. And what we will do is we'll say, what can you do? And this is how you can create a custom GPT. This one says we're going to score properties in a 20-point framework, accept input in 2 ways. And it will just go through, and it says you can use the custom buy box to create what your buy box is and reference market data extract. So this is how you create the custom GPT. You spend a lot of time trying to build it out so that you can see what the algorithm was for the lead score, but it doesn't matter. You guys can create whatever you want, but this is how you can set up the system, build the system, generate the algorithm, then build the system, and that actually will give you everything that you need to be able to do it. So that is the end of this. If you guys like this type of information, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, we'll go streaming on Thursday. If you have a free chance, come on Thursday. We'll be talking about real estate strategies and things like that. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace.